My name's Paula and I'm a tutor for Soilhull Music Service. I teach small group and whole class tuition and individuals on guitar and ukulele. Yeah, a light bulb moment for me would be when I realised that really you get some of the best rewards from not necessarily the children that are taking the higher grade exams or being the best in performance, but actually some of the children that have had real obstacles to overcome, and you watch them maybe play a small piece for their parents for the first time, and they haven't really done very well in education, say up until then, or they tell you that it's the best lesson of the week. And I had a head teacher tell me that there was a child in their class with ADHD who misbehaved in general, when threatened with the loss of his guitar lessons, actually changed the way he behaved at school in order to guarantee that he would carry on having his guitar lessons every week, which was quite a strong, powerful thing to hear. I think understanding the barriers that certain children face in their learning just makes you delve more deeply into how you're going to teach them and come up with various ways to get around any difficulties that they've got. This will make you a better teacher in general, because there's always going to be certain circumstances where a child, whatever their background, finds it difficult to pick up on a particular thing that you're trying to teach them. If you've got lots of different ways of showing them how to do that, then it's going to improve your teaching in general. I've had inclusion training in ADHD and dyslexia, working with children with dyslexia, and children in care, and being on a social and emotional mental health course that was run by the MAC and the Music Service. And all of this give me an insight into how best to try and help children that have got certain extra difficulties in life. I remember being particularly moved by a virtual head who was dealing with children who were in care, and he said that if they even took a grade in a particular music instrument, that it would maybe change the whole pathway of their life, and that they could end up, instead of on the streets or into drug abuse or in prison, it could actually get them into a job and give them self-confidence to take a completely different path in life. And that stayed with me, even though the training session was a good sort of few hours. It stayed with me, just that fact that you could take the children that maybe haven't got a lot else going on in life, and you can actually, through music, give them a different path to follow and maybe help them make different choices in life. And that's a pretty strong message, I think. I think having had the training in inclusion and how to sort of be understanding of children in certain situations, it really it gives you the confidence to try and gain their trust and work with them, and not be afraid to sort of tackle things that might need tackling. In my teaching now, being more aware of inclusion, I try and teach the same thing in various different ways, auditory or visual, or getting them to write things down, so that it accentuates the talents of each of the individuals and they can all learn the same thing but in their own way of learning. Having inclusion training and being made more aware of the circumstances and the difficulties that some children might have been having that morning before they even get into your music lesson, it just makes you more aware, and having the confidence, because you've had some training, it actually makes it a lot easier to form the trust between you and your pupils. And in the long run, I think those sort of situations are some of the most rewarding, to actually think that you've set a child on a different path than they might have taken, because you've taken the time to invest in them and be understanding of them and their situation. Then I don't think there's any greater gift we can pass on than that, really.